Those years in quest of honor mine. Chapter 79. Yushi grew up in the imperial palace. When he fell ill occasionally, the top imperial physicians, who usually looked after the princes and princesses, would of course be tasked with examining him. Later on, when he grew up, it was inconvenient for him to stay in the palace. So, he moved out. There was a place for him in both Prince Yu's estate and Royal Princess Angwo's estate. Whenever he grew ill, it was Royal Princess Angwo's trusted imperial physician who examined him. And after that, Prince Yu and the princess severed ties, and Yushi stayed in the side courtyard all year round. He didn't trust anyone, and switched out all his imperial physicians, choosing a few that he had personally promoted and had clean backgrounds. This imperial physician was one of them. Before he switched to exclusively being on call for Yushi, this imperial physician had serviced many members of the nobility and royalty. He had treated similar cases of bedroom problems. Getting it all out of his chest, the imperial physician said, "Actually, this is normal. This mostly happens to middle-aged men who don't have enough energy. So they cannot keep up with their bed partners. They can only ask doctors for medicine that can help them last." This is indeed the first time this physician has encountered someone like Yushizi who needs this kind of medicine. Steward Feng did not want to hear such words. "What kind of nonsense are you spouting? How could Yushizi not be able to keep up? Yushizi has never even done it before." Yushi glared at Steward Feng. How could he say those things aloud? Didn't he realize it's embarrassing for him? The imperial physician was overwhelmed with shock. He's never done it before. In a flash, Yushi no longer had any interest in this topic. He rose to his feet and said angrily, "I'll go check on Zhongyuan. You people, prepare that whatever tea. It's better than nothing." The two watched as Yushi made for the inner courtyard. The imperial physician cautiously asked in a soft voice, "He really didn't?" Like he was closely guarding a secret, Steward Feng shook his head. In Zhongyuan's courtyard, Yushi and Zhongyuan ate dinner together. Zhongyuan's fever had already subsided. The dishes that were prepared for dinner were all the ones he liked. Due to Yushi's urging, he ate a lot. After finishing his meal, Zhongyuan rubbed his belly. He didn't want to sleep so early. Just when he was about to talk to Yushi about Qianrui, Steward Feng came in delivering a pot of tea. He told them that it was made specially for Zhongyuan. Zhongyuan smiled. "It's fine. I ate too much just now, and I've got no room to drink anything." Embarrassed, Steward looked at Yushi. Yushi met his gaze. Once Steward Feng had set down the items, he left. Yushi personally poured a cup of tea for Zhongyuan and handed it over. In a low voice, he said, "Drink a little." Zhongyuan lowered his head and sniffed it. "It's sweet and greasy smelling. What is this? And he even said it's made specially for me. What does it treat?" "It treats the frightful lewd demon in your heart." But Yushi kept his thoughts to himself, and said in a vague manner, "It's good for you." So, Zhongyuan could only drink it in a well-behaved manner. Did things go smoothly today? At first, Yushi wanted to hide this, that he had wanted to use Zhongyuan as an excuse to get the assistance of senior cabinet official soon. However, he told Zhongyuan in the end. Then that settled. A wave of relief washed over Zhongyuan. If no problems occur, would the imperial clan court send Qianrui away tomorrow? Yushi nodded. Zhongyuan hesitated, before saying, "Previously, Lin Si said he wanted to personally escort Qianrui back to Qianan, but then he'd be away for a few months. I want him to remain in the capital. It's better to have him and Xianjing make up earlier." Zhongyuan flashed Yushi a smile. "May I trouble Yushizi to dispatch some people to do this task instead of him?" His request actually aligned with Yushi's thoughts. Without even batting an eyelid, he nodded, "All right." On the same night, the study of the main Prince Yu's estate was brightly lit. Sui Yu is stretching his hands too far. Prince Yu, Yu Muchen, had his head lowered as he read the memorial that one of his subordinates had copied. He furrowed his brows tightly. I merely blocked him a little and he immediately had the cabinet present a memorial. One of Yu Muchen's advisors said softly, should we have the imperial clan court do something? It's useless. Yu Muchen shook his head. Although the emperor did not give an official decision yet, that memorial has already appeared before the emperor. And that memorial had been approved by the cabinet. It's basically the same as an imperial edict. It's too late. Yu Muchen threw the copy of the memorial on the desk and sighed. The emperor relies on the cabinet. And that's because every member of the cabinet is a trusted aide of the emperor. At first, Fourth Highness and Fifth Highness learned politics from them. Fourth Highness stayed there for half a year. Fifth Highness forced himself to stay there for less than 2 years. For 2 years, he couldn't even make friends with those cabinet ministers. Sui Yu has only been there for more than a month, yet cabinet minister's son is actually eagerly attentive in helping him. Yu Muchen sighed deeply and said in a low voice, could there really be a thing as destiny? Another advisor rushed to say, how could there be something like destiny? It's merely a string of coincidences. Back then, when Fifth Highness entered the cabinet to listen to them, His Majesty was in good health. He controlled the court politics firmly. Which of the cabinet ministers would dare to make friends with the princes? But now, who wouldn't make a backup plan for themselves? Yu Muchen laughed. Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm looking for a backup plan to my backup plan, right? Another trusted aide still had something to say, when someone came into the room. He knelt and said softly, Your Highness, there are movements in the side courtyard. Yu Muchen said, speak. Our heir secretly ordered the family soldiers, said the spy in a low voice. He said it's not necessary to escort the former Prince Jian back to his fief. Merely sending him out of the capital is enough. Everyone looked at each other. Even when they expended all their efforts, they could not achieve success. When they had no hopes left, they actually found a light at the end of the tunnel. What kind of logic was this? Yu Muchen dismissed his subordinates, but the advisors could not understand his reason for doing this. An advisor said softly, Your Highness, this lowly one has an idea. Would Yu Shizi's personal handling of this matter be merely all talk and no action? Another person asked, who's he doing this for? For Prince Ning's adopted son, Zhongwan, said the advisor near whisper. From what this subordinate knows, during the time our Yu Shizi surrounded the traders in the suburbs of the capital, he almost killed the former Prince Jianan. Would he sincerely want to help the former Prince Jianan? Another person shook his head. This has nothing to do with whether or not he's sincere or whether or not he's willing to help them. Yu Shizi already guessed that our prince might use Xian Rui as a pawn. It's just that he's unwilling to let Xian Rui ascend the throne before him. All of them are the grandsons of the former emperor. One is the eldest legitimate son of Prince Ning. One is the son born out of incest from the current emperor and the emperor's concubine mother. Whom the imperial clan members and court ministers would choose is hard to guess. How could Yu Shizi allow him to stay here? The first advisor who had spoken clapped. The trap is right here. Since Yu Shizi does not want to have Xian Rui stay in the capital, would he be at ease if he sent Xian Rui to Jianan? A strange light flashed in Yu Muchen's eyes. But there was still someone who didn't understand. If he doesn't escort Xian Rui back to Jianan, then isn't he just giving Xian Rui to us? The person around him saw that he still did not understand, and couldn't help but say, stop dreaming. Yu Shizi intends to kill Xian Rui. He'll have the former Prince Jianan killed on the way back to his fief. Then he'll just blame us or the imperial clan court as he pleases. Frightened, the advisors looked at Prince Yu one after another. Yu Muchen sat down. A good while later, he said in an unhurried pace, this time, Sui Yu is being too greedy. Yushizi truly has a great scheme. On one hand, he doesn't want to be at odds with Zhongyuan and wants to pretend to love him. On the other hand, he purposely delivers Xian Rui to our doorstep, taking drastic measures to deal with the situation. The advisor was astonished. We underestimated Yushizi in the past. He acted unscrupulously these past years. We thought he only seemed ruthless on the surface, and never once thought he was more frightening than anyone in stabbing people in the back. The advisors looked at Yumachan. Your Highness, this. Should we just pull back? So, as to avoid failing to rope Xian Rui to our side, and give Yushizi something to use against us, throwing the crime of killing Xian Rui over our heads. Yumachan stayed silent. Quite a while later, he said, No. Whatever Suiyu wants, I'll give to him, said Yumachan in an unhurried pace. If he wants Xian Rui to die, fine. I'll grant his wish. An advisor quickly tried to advise Yumachan against that, but someone next to him whispered, a fake death. After a moment of thought, realization struck that advisor. He bowed. Your Highness is wise. If Suiyu absolutely wants Xian Rui's death, then merely after he hears that Xian Rui is dead, he would be at ease. I'll put on this show for him, said Yumachan in a low voice. Add more people to those who would be escorting Xian Rui. His fake death must seem real. After you save Xian Rui, we must hide him well. If there's a day that... The advisor smiled in a secretive manner. If there's a day that we truly get to that point, would Xian Rui trust your Highness, his benefactor, or Suiyu and Zhongyuan, who personally stripped him of his noble title? Yumachan said in a low voice, we don't have to wait until then. Once the Zhongyuan who was discovered that he had been deceived, he would want Suiyu's life. But an advisor still couldn't help but worry. Your Highness, what if we guessed incorrectly? What if Yushizi truly doesn't care about Xian Rui? Yumachan smiled. There actually seemed to be some kindness to his gaze. Then as his foster father, I'll have to guess my child's thoughts, and kill Xian Rui for him. Finally, the advisor completely relaxed. He kept laughing. Your Highness is truly thorough with your schemes. At that time, Yushizi and Zhongyuan would break ties. Maybe we won't even need to do anything, and Yushizi would completely go crazy. How could a lunatic ascend the throne? Another person said, Yushizi is pretty lucky. He obviously was sick with madness since early on, yet pretended that he merely had a bad temperament. Up until now, the emperor actually still does not believe he is truly insane. Truly lucky. His illness is indeed not that serious. He also restrains it. So, His Majesty was truly deceived by him. No. His illness won't be the death of him. Suiyu, this child, said Yumachan, disappointed and frustrated. Rather, it's his greed that would kill him. He wants the throne but also wants Zhongyuan. Why has it not crossed his mind that since ancient times, no one would be that lucky and always get what they want? He wants everything, so inevitably, he would get nothing. Early the next day, after Yushi had learned that the imperial clan court wanted to escort Xian Rui back to Jianan as soon as possible, his trusted aides and family soldiers once again came to confirm with him whether they truly just needed to send Xian Rui out of the capital. Nodding, Yushi said, yes. The family soldiers were very hesitant. Yushi smiled. Do you know what interested me the most recently? A family soldier asked out of reflex. What? It's, said Yushi in a relaxed manner. After I've been crazy for so many years, now these people don't know what I truly want. So many people use their own disgusting way of thinking to guess what my thoughts are. After hearing those words, the family soldier was even more confused. Yushi thought for a moment, then shook his head. No, except for Zhongyuan. Guiyuan still understands my thoughts. The family soldier didn't quite catch that. What? Nothing, said Yushi without batting an eyelid. Go now. It's nothing. However, the family soldier still did not leave. Steward Feng rushed over in a ball of energy. Yushi frowned. What happened? Steward forced himself to smile. Yushizi, bad news. I don't know who was the blabbermouth who let young Master Zhong find out. Yushi paid it no mind. There's no need to hide any of my matters from him. If he finds out, then he finds out. So what? Steward Feng swallowed. It's that tea. For some reason, young Master Zhong found out what it's supposed to treat. He said he wouldn't drink any of it and also said. Yushi's expression turned stiff. What did he say? Steward Feng said in a low voice, young Master Zhong said that Yushizi wants to make him impotent. At the sound of those words, Yushi had a headache. When did I? He rose to his feet, wanting to find Zhongwan, when the family soldier, who was supposed to escort him to the palace, came inside the room. Yushizi, it's getting late. We should head for the palace for court now. Yushi removed his black gauze hat and rushed outside the room. I'm not going today. Not going, said the family soldier, incredulous. Then what excuse should we give them? Yushi found him not smart enough. He also feared that other people wouldn't know he wasn't going to court because of Zhongwan. Vexed, he said, why should we lie? Or could I not say the truth in front of the court? Just tell it as it is. Then Yushi made for the inner courtyard to look for Zhongwan. Innocently, the family soldier looked at Steward Feng. Then just what should I say? Steward Feng analyzed Yushi's words and sighed. Just say our estate's young Master Zhong had a nightmare last night and is still afraid after waking up today. He's clinging to Yushizi and not letting him leave. End chapter. Those years in quest of honor mine. Chapter 80. Xianqiang had already been placed under house arrest in the palace for a whole 5 days. Imperial consort Yu was impossibly in a panic. 5 days ago, Yushi had made a trip into the palace. He had said something unknown to Emperor Chang'an. As soon as he left, Emperor Chang'an immediately summoned Xianqiang. He ordered everyone else away and kept the doors to the courtroom tightly closed. In less than an hour, Emperor Chang'an had ordered for Xianqiang to be kept under house arrest in the palace. Nobody was allowed to visit him. Imperial consort Yu had been so scared that she had lost half of her wits. Before she could manage to send a message to Prince Yu, Emperor Chang'an issued another decree, admitting Yushi back into the imperial family with great fanfare. Imperial consort Yu had passed out on the spot. These past few days, time passed excruciatingly slowly for Imperial consort Yu. Though the emperor hadn't placed her under house arrest, he had ordered a palace servant to send her a message. The message had been worded nicely, saying that Xianqiang had been rude and disrespectful. Getting placed under house arrest was just a small punishment for him. There wouldn't be any further punishment. Before Imperial consort Yu could sigh in relief, the messenger gently added, "The emperor is telling Fifth Highness to repent. After Fifth Highness himself realizes what he did wrong and fixes his mistakes, everything will naturally blow over. Right now, the worst thing would be for something else to happen. The emperor has yet to scold your highness. Your highness, please have some patience. Don't visit Fifth Highness and don't admit Fifth Highness wrongdoings for him. It'd be best to not to have anyone else ask for mercy on Fifth Highness' behalf either." Imperial consort Yu's heart skipped a beat. She knew very well that this anyone else was most likely referring to Prince Yu. Imperial consort Yu had no idea what to do. She didn't know if this was the meaning Emperor Chang'an had wanted to impart, so she hurriedly ordered someone to give the palace servant some silver notes. The palace servant silently accepted them. He lowered his voice greatly and said, "Your Highness, His Majesty has only placed Fifth Highness under house arrest as of now. Some people don't think this is enough and are in the middle of coming up with other solutions. Imperial consort Yu shouted, "Isn't house arrest enough? What else will happen?" The palace servant shook his head. "I don't know about that. However, since the emperor is forbidding your highness from visiting and asking for mercy, that means your highness can't do anything, right? I'll have to ask your highness to be patient for the time being. Perhaps the other party has now gotten what they wanted, so are willing to let everyone else go." Imperial consort Yu's expression changed with anger. "You. She." The palace servant departed. Imperial consort Yu felt very agitated. As of now, Yu Shi had already been taken back by Emperor Chang'an. Soon, he would be named a prince. Things had already progressed to this step. Would he let Xian Qian go? Impossible. Imperial consort Yu wanted to act sick and summon Yu Muchen into the palace. But after thinking of what the palace servant had said just now, she also worried about drawing attention onto herself. She didn't dare to infuriate Emperor Chang'an further. She could never come up with any plans herself. After a great thought, she still couldn't come up with a good solution. A moment later, she suddenly said, "Oh right. Go." Imperial consort Yu's voice trembled. "Go summon Tang Qin here." In only a few months, it seemed like Tang Qin had once again aged many years. In agitation, Imperial consort Yu said, "Has eldest brother told anyone to tell you anything? Is he currently trying to avoid suspicion too? He no longer dares to enter the palace." Tang Qin had just received Yu Shi's orders. Right now, his expression made it look like he had just eaten a fly. Tang Qin didn't want to do anything for Yu Shi. However, Yu Shi was purposefully placing the opportunity to reverse an old verdict into his hands. He had wanted this opportunity for a long time. But as soon as he thought of the fact that this was Yu Shi's intention, he couldn't help feeling displeased. Tang Qin's gaze was murky. He thought of his younger biological brother who was currently in Yu Shi's clutches. It was unknown whether or not his brother was still alive. He sighed. His voice was hoarse as he said, "In reply to your highness' question, Prince has not sent any messages to the slave." Imperial consort Yu's eyes were filled with resentment. "He wants to cut things off with us too, right?" In a very deliberate manner, Tang Qin said, "Your highness, the emperor has already accepted young Prince Yu back. The dust has settled. Right now, everyone is only thinking of how to save themselves. Moreover, pleading for mercy probably won't work anymore, either. Didn't Royal Princess Angguo enter the palace a short while ago to beg for mercy? The emperor has always respected the royal princess, but he didn't even grant her audience this time. This greatly humiliated the royal princess. The same thing will probably happen if Prince comes." That couple, Imperial consort Yu's eyes were filled with anger as she grinded her teeth together. "Seems like they want to switch boats now, right?" "Exactly. At the end of the day, the two of them truly did raise Yu Shi. Even though the affection has disappeared, he wouldn't necessarily risk being called unfilial just to punish them. But what about me and Xian Qian?" Tang Qin had listened in silence. He softly said, "As of now, your highness can only work to save yourself." Imperial consort Yu asked with much unease, "What plan could I have?" Tang Qin slowly said, "In the imperial decree, the emperor said that young Prince Yu is his son with a respectable woman from the princess estate." Imperial consort Yu's brows knitted together. "You mean?" Tang Qin said, "This is a worry of the emperor. As long as the incidents of the past are revealed, His Majesty will definitely try to come up with a plan to cover them up. Mother and child are linked together. To keep young Imperial Consort Zhong's story a secret, he'll need to temporarily delay promoting young Prince Yu. This all depends on what His Majesty finds more important. If His Majesty wants to save his own reputation, he'll have to aggrieve young Prince Yu." Imperial Consort Yu fell into a panic. But what if the Emperor disregards his own reputation just to name young Imperial Consort Zhong's son as Crown Prince? Tang Qin paused for a moment, then replied, then we'll just have to come up with a plan of action when the time comes. At that time, Your Highness can once again use young Prince Yu's identity to cause a fuss. Young imperial consort Zhong was the previous emperor's consort. Who can say who the biological father of the son born from her womb was? Right. If the emperor is adamant about crowning him, I can still use his identity as leverage. But, imperial consort, you felt lost. I can't be the one to make this move. Who can expose this information? Tang Qin lowered his voice and said, this old slave is still in contact with a few of Prince Yu's trusted subordinates from the early years. I can ask them to help. Imperial consort Yu hurriedly shook her head. No. If the emperor finds out about them, wouldn't eldest brother get dragged into this mess? Tang Qin sighed. Your Highness, can't you tell that prince is either going to play it safe to save himself or stand on young prince's side? If you don't drag him in now, what are you waiting for? Imperial consort Yu was in a daze. A while later, she hardened her heart. Yes. He doesn't want to help me. I need to force him to help me. Only this isn't enough. Help me spread this news throughout the palace too. Don't they want to hide this information? Well, I'm determined for everyone to find out. Like this, an extremely embarrassing piece of secret news regarding the imperial family exploded simultaneously inside and outside of the palace. Emperor Chang'an, who hadn't attended morning court for many days, had originally been planning to attend court this morning. However, after hearing the news, he quickly cancelled the morning court session. Due to a fateful series of events, Yushi just so happened to skip today's morning assembly. Because of his absence, while believing by default that Yushi was doing this to avoid arousing suspicion, the court officials also believed the rumors that said his biological mother was young imperial consort Zhong. After morning assembly, the imperial clan relatives and imperial sensorate launched an attack together. Among this group included people Shi Jin had left for Zhongwan, individuals Yushi had arranged, and several officials who had ties to Xianjing and Xianqiang. It seemed like everyone had all planned this together. Numerous booklets were sent to the cabinet, their contents were largely the same. All of them were questioning Yushi's identity. Many people spoke up, except for the trusted allies belonging to the same side as Prince Yu's estate. Emperor Chang'an gazed at this huge pile of documents. His gaze was dark. Well, Prince Yu's people haven't joined in the mess this time. The booklet-keeping eunuch who was performing the brush and ink duties for Emperor Chang'an softly said, Prince is loyal and knowledgeable. He naturally wouldn't believe rumors so easily. But how come, no matter how I investigate, everything seems to point to the fact that the rumors started from Prince Yu's estate? Emperor Chang'an's expression was foul. A few days ago, Qiang Heir was disobedient and actually started looking into old matters. I asked him if this was because he had heard his uncle say something. Qiang Heir stubbornly said it wasn't. Emperor Chang'an scoffed. Emperor Chang'an lowered his voice and said, Qiang Heir is more willing to be placed under house arrest by me than betray his uncle. He obviously values his uncle more than his imperial father. Murderous intent flashed through Emperor Chang'an's eyes. The eunuch remained deathly silent. He didn't dare to respond. Emperor Chang'an asked, has anything else happened with Prince Yu? The booklet-keeping eunuch shook his head. After morning court, Prince Yu didn't personally enter the palace but tasked a palace servant to pay respects to imperial consort Yu in his stead. Everything was quite rushed. He told Her Highness to ensure that Fifth Highness was obediently repenting, urged Her Highness to reflect on herself behind closed doors, and also told Her Highness to not listen to or believe the rumors. The eunuch softly said, Prince Yu's estate is in a bit of a mess. Almost as if they really didn't know in advance. As such, I'm even more disbelieving. Emperor Chang'an scoffed upon hearing this. It matters not if the imperial clan court asks about matters pertaining to the heavenly family. What are these court officials joining in for? If you're saying nobody is pushing for them to, who would believe that? Emperor Chang'an threw the booklet in his hand onto the ground. Baseless rumors. I have nothing to say about them. The booklet-keeping eunuch picked the booklet up and softly asked, "Is your majesty not adding comments?" "No," Emperor Chang'an answered, quite fatigued. "Tell the senior cabinet officials to not leave comments on these. Additionally, have someone investigate who is causing trouble and making up these rumors." The eunuch acknowledged this. Emperor Chang'an looked up. "Where's Sui Yu? He didn't enter the palace today." The eunuch shook his head. "He took a sick day." After closer questioning, they said. Emperor Chang'an furrowed his brows. Could it be that he had known beforehand that someone was going to cause trouble? No, the eunuch hurriedly replied. "They said that young Master Zhong at the estate has been feeling somewhat unwell. Thus, young Prince Yu got stuck at home." Emperor Chang'an didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Sui Yu, ah. The eunuch pondered what Emperor Chang'an was thinking. He said in a low voice, "These past few days, it seems as if young Prince Yu has spent a lot of energy on this young Master Zhong. Should your majesty?" Emperor Chang'an fell silent for a moment. He shook his head. "Never mind. Let him do as he wishes. Zhongwan's a man, what trouble could he possibly cause? I won't be the villain in this." The eunuch lowered his voice and replied, "But young Master Zhong. No matter what, he's still a member of the Zhong family." The amusement faded from Emperor Chang'an's face. "I've only left him alone because he's a member of the Zhong family." The eunuch furrowed his brows. Shortly after, he reached a sudden realization. Yes. The more young Prince Yu cares for young Master Zhong, the more he'll help your majesty hide the events of the past. Otherwise, if young Master Zhong finds out the reason for the slaughter of the entire Zhong family, he'll definitely alienate young Prince Yu. Emperor Chang'an furrowed his brows. The eunuch instantly quieted. A long time later, the eunuch softly said, "Your majesty is wise. In the past, this servant had been curious about why your majesty was so indulgent regarding this matter. Now, I see that controlling young Prince Yu in this manner is a good plan. Sui Yu is a child who's hard to control when he's angry." Emperor Chang'an sighed. "Ours is an ill-fated relationship. The recent events have wronged Sui Yu." Emperor Chang'an rubbed his forehead. "Go, gift him some things. Also, tell him to come into the palace and pay his respects to me if he has no business to attend to. The more rumors there are outside, the less affected he should act. Otherwise, wouldn't this just prove how guilty he is? Also, ask. If Zhongwan has returned to health, tell him to come too. The last time I summoned him into the palace, Sui Yu stopped him from coming. As of now, I'm telling the both of them to come together. He shouldn't be against this anymore, right? I'm just worried he isn't interested in these things." Emperor Chang'an furrowed his brows. Now that such rumors have gotten out, who knows how distressed Sui Yu is. The side courtyard of Prince Yu's estate. Yushi was truly very distressed. Since morning, Zhongwan had been acting miserable. If I were a woman, do you know what the situation would be considered? Zhongwan had many complaints. This would be the equivalent of you forcing me to drink a pot of safflower. You would be preventing me from ever falling pregnant again. How could you have such an evil heart? Yushi patiently coaxed, "I'm doing this for your own good." Zhongwan broke down. "You're making me impotent for my own good." Yushi was exasperated. "Who said I'm making you impotent? This is just some medicine to calm your urges. Then why do I have to take this calming medicine?" The more Zhongwan thought about it, the more horrified he felt. "Sui Yu, sometimes I really don't understand. Why are you so good at causing trouble? We are clearly the only two people in this estate, but you've somehow managed to make our life together more complex than life in the imperial harem. Is this medicine really not something that a concubine from some other family is giving to another concubine to fight for favor? Yushi was confused. What are you talking about? What concubines? Zhonwan couldn't understand. Or do you think that I have too much time on my hands? Are you scared that I'll feel bored while healing? There are no concubines in this estate, so you yourself are fighting with me. Yushi was completely lost. He hurriedly explained, I only wanted you to calm down a bit. Why do I need to calm down? Zhonwan glanced at Yushi, highly alert. Right now, I'm even worried that one night, you'll shave my head bald while I'm asleep and force me to become a monk. Why would I randomly shave your head? Yushi forced himself to remain patient. Today, there have been great changes in the court. We've been planning for several days and the conflict begins today. I still want to make a trip to the palace. Be good and drink this medicine. Then, I'll leave. Zhonwan shrunk into a corner. I refuse. Yushi furrowed his brows. You. Zhonwan cautiously asked, will you summon someone to hold my mouth open and force feed me? Zhonwan still maintained a last bit of hope. Or will you feed me mouth to mouth? While Yushi wanted to, he worried that he would get turned on by Zhonwan again if he did so. He could only say, never mind. If you don't want to drink it, then don't. I'm leaving first. Rest well. Zhonwan lay back in bed, bewildered. The more he thought about it, the more he felt like Yushi had been acting weird. A short moment later, Steward Feng walked in while carrying a painting scroll. Zhonwan sat up. What's that? Steward Feng hurriedly said, this is the scroll that Yushizi especially wrote for young master in the study prior to leaving. He wants young master to hang it over the head of the bed so young master can see it every day. Zhonwan smiled. That lunatic finally understands that he wronged me. He even knows to write me a love poem to make me happy. However, Zhonwan slightly furrowed his brows while staring at the painting scroll in Steward Feng's arms. One piece of letter paper was enough. Why did Yushi use such a big scroll? Without waiting for Zhonwan to accept it, Steward Feng unfurled the enormous scroll. On the painting scroll, Yushi's strokes were powerful. 6 large characters were written very elaborately. Uphold heavenly justice. Annihilate human lust. Zhonwan. End chapter. Those years in quest of honor mine. Chapter 81. Emperor Chang'an was suspicious of Yumachan. On one side, he suppressed the rumors. On the other, he had people investigate them. After a few inquiries later, everything pointed to Prince Yu's estate. The more suspicious Emperor Chang'an grew, the less likely he would ask Prince Yu why he did what he did. Yumachan wanted to explain, but had no openings to. Of course, he would not resign himself to death. At first, he suspected that Yushi wanted mutual destruction. After 2 days of investigation, he discovered something fishy from Royal Princess Angguo's estate. Before he could question her, his subordinates found out something else. The first round of news came from Imperial Consort Yu's palace. The moment he had found this out, Yumachan truly wanted to kill her. The emperor simply did not trust Yushi. He left Fifth Highness around because he still held hesitation in his heart. In Imperial Consort Yu's palace, Yumachan tried his best to suppress his anger. Voice trembling, he said, victory and defeat is still undecided. There's still a chance to win. Just what are you trying to do? Why are you so impatient? In the imperial palace, rumors were everywhere. Emperor Chang'an used this as an excuse, delaying the selection of an auspicious date to confer Yushi the title of first-ranked prince. Imperial consort Yu thought this was all due to her own contributions and as such, grew more confident, but she still blamed Yumachan. She still felt that her own eldest brother's position was swaying. Frigidly she said, "Why am I so impatient? Now, I'm afraid I'm the only one anxious for Kyung Air, right? If I still don't make a move, I'm afraid no one would care even if Kyung Air dies." Yumachin laughed in spite of himself. "Are you truly helping Fifth Highness?" "Aren't I?" Imperial consort, you sneered. "If the Emperor has the ability, then he can continue supporting that bastard. If the Emperor dares to confer him the title of first-ranked prince, then I dare to make a huge fuss. The rumors would only grow more and more unpleasant to the heirs. I actually want to know if the Emperor would still be willing to spare that bastard a glance after hearing that many rumors. Do you really think you can make the Emperor and Yushi at odds like this?" Yumachin was in disbelief. "You're just pushing him to Yushi's side? Why are you still unable to understand? Even if you want to bring those past matters to light, that's not the way you should go around it. Why are you so stuck on exposing the identity of Yushi's birth mother? Even if other people believed it, that his birth mother was indeed the previous era's young imperial consort Zhong, so what? Isn't he still the emperor's son? Are you throwing dirty water on Yushi, or are you throwing it on the emperor?" Imperial consort Yu fell into a daze. Stubbornly said, "What's the difference? If his background is dirty, don't tell me that's not a taint on him." Yumachin was so angry that he collapsed onto his seat. He had already arranged for the old servants of young imperial consort Zhong to enter the palace. Now, he was just watching from the sidelines. He and Emperor Chang'an had shared a monarch and subject relationship for decades. As such, he understood the emperor's way of thinking the most. Understood that the emperor had yet to make a decision. He merely wanted to keep around a trump card. If Emperor Chang'an truly conferred Yushi the title of crown prince, and then Prince Yu exposed his background before diverting the focus on Yushi's birth father. And if he then made the imperial clan members and court officials suspect Yushi was born from young imperial consort Zhong and another man, using her old servants as a weapon, using the terrible rumors as a weapon, one Pierce and Yushi wouldn't be able to escape death. But right now, Yumachin looked at imperial consort Yu, feeling discouraged. All those years of effort, which existed as the blade to stab Yushi with, had been taken by imperial consort Yu ahead of schedule. And to merely cut Yushi's hand at that, it didn't even tickle him. Yumachin's self-restraint was decent. He was so angry that even his internal organs had shifted, yet he did not scold her further. He supported his chest and slowly said, "That I'm not impatient to act doesn't mean I don't worry about Fifth Highness. And it also doesn't mean I want to turn around and defect to Yushi's side. It's because it's not the right time yet. Do you really think Yushi's position is that stable? He does not respect the emperor in his heart. How long can the emperor support such an unfilial son? All right, first, let's not talk about whether or not he can coax the emperor. Doesn't Yushi himself already have a lot of problems? In previous years, he ate Han Shi-san and harmed his organs, and would occasionally go crazy. But he's very good at hiding it. We need to make it so he cannot hide it anymore. How hard is that? And then there's also the matter of him being a homosexual. The emperor is turning a blind eye to it. Fine. Let's drop this topic first. But he's already this old. And he's still unwilling to marry a wife? Last time, the emperor wanted to bestow him a concubine. And he used an ill-founded excuse against it, causing the emperor unhappiness. Isn't just this enough to censure him? Yumachin was incomparably exhausted. There's so much information that can be used against him. It's good enough if you just randomly chose one. Why must you push this specific one ahead of time? Imperial consort Yu's stupidity and arrogance angered others. Since eldest brother knows this so well, you should also know that his background is the most piercing out of the other points. I want to destroy him. Naturally, I'd have to choose the sharpest sword. Yumachin itched to roar, You're just using this sword ahead of schedule. All of a sudden, Yu lost all his energy. He didn't want to utter a word to Imperial Consort Yu anymore. He looked at his stubborn and stupid younger sister. At that moment, he thought, very discouraged, I used all my energy, and now greatly offended the Emperor, risking my life even more for Xian Qiang. In the future, if Xian Qiang truly ascends the throne, then what would happen? His younger sister suspected him right now and was unwilling to follow his arrangements. What would happen once she became the Empress Dowager? Imperial Consort Yu was young. In the future, she would definitely intervene with politics. Power wasn't what was frightening. Rather, the scariest was when stupid people have the power. Yu anxiously thought, what's even more frightening is that Xian Qiang and Imperial Consort Yu are similar. Yu could not help but think of the Xian Rui whom Yushi sent out of the capital. Originally, Yu had considered Xian Rui as his last way out. Just a while ago, he did not think that there would ever be a need to use him. His own blood-related nephew was still around. So, he would never need to use this blockhead. But now, as he looked at Imperial Consort Yu suddenly felt hesitation. Although Xian Rui did not have any relationship with him, at the very least he did not have a stupid mother who liked to give out orders. Yu heart floated in deep confusion. However, his expression remained normal. He sighed. Fine. Since you've already acted, I won't say anything else about this matter. There's just one thing. Consider it as me begging you. Stop focusing on Yushi's birth mother. The Emperor is already on guard and will find clues that point to you very quickly. Aren't you afraid? Imperial Consort Yu's pupils trembled and looked elsewhere in unease. Even though the Emperor is suspicious of me, I still came to visit you today. It wasn't to argue with you, said Yu sincere. If you can't sit still and just have to do something, fine. Just use another of Yushi's bad habits, all right. Imperial Consort Yu pondered deeply for a moment. Unresigned, she nodded. Understood. Revealing a bit of his exhaustion, Yu used the chair as support to get up. He laughed bitterly a couple times and left. Imperial Consort Yu sat down for a long time, thinking over what Yu had said again and again. A while later, she summoned her trusted aides. Just a while ago, eldest brother said that the last time His Majesty wanted to bestow Yushi a concubine, he rejected it, she said in a soft voice. And it made the Emperor unhappy. Do you know how he rejected him? The trusted aide whispered their response. Imperial Consort Yu said loathingly, a bastard is a bastard. It's whatever that he fools around with a man, but he actually dared to say it to the Emperor. After she thought for a long while, the corners of her lips rose a hint. Eldest brother was right about one thing. The trusted aide asked, what? Everything must go according to what the Emperor likes and wants. This would only push the Emperor farther away, said Imperial Consort Yu softly. His Majesty wants Yushi to take a concubine, right? The trusted aide muttered, yes. Then that's good. What do you think is the best way to act according to what the Emperor wants and also cause trouble for Yushi? A hollow laugh left the trusted aide's lips. Your Highness, even if we want to have young Prince Yu take a concubine, that responsibility does not fall under your Highness' hands. She laughed. Of course I don't want to manage that. Go. We will go pay respects to the Empress. But the trusted aide still felt this wasn't a good idea. Your Highness, isn't this a bit too deliberate? Don't worry, I won't send someone to him directly. I'm not stupid, she said in a low voice. First, I'll ask Her Majesty to bestow a concubine to Qiang heir. I'll say that this child has no one taking care of him. As for Yushi, I'll have the Empress send those people to the Emperor, and have her say she chose two good maidens. That she would give one to Qiang heir and the other to Yushi in passing. From the start, The emperor wanted to have Yushi take on a concubine. He would definitely agree. Imperial consort, you sneered. Isn't Yushi unwilling? I will insist on him taking one. The side courtyard of Prince Yu's estate. The Zhonwan, who was almost all recovered and whose fever had completely subsided, suddenly felt a bit anxious. Between laughter and tears, Zhonwan looked at the picture scroll that was hung in front of the bed. Ever since the day the picture scroll had been hung, Yushi had not been intimate with Zhonwan again. Steward Feng feared that Zhonwan would quarrel with Yushi, so he came to chat with him when he had spare time. You really shouldn't blame Yushizi. The imperial physician said your health is not good. Zhonwan brushed up his bangs. He looked into the copper mirror, at his forehead wound that had yet to heal, and sighed. All right, I won't blame him. You don't have to tell me several times a day that I can't get it up. Any man would not want to hear that. Steward Feng smiled dryly. Isn't this just me being scared that young master would misunderstand Yushizi? Young master, you don't know, but Yushizi has been very busy these past few days. Every day, when he returns to the estate, he never forgets to ask the imperial physician about your condition. First, he asks what medicine you ate that day. Then, if you recovered a bit. He really cares about you. Zhonwan licked his lip and smiled softly. Yes, I also care about him. Meanwhile, in the cabinet office, Yushi received some news and laughed coldly. Not a word escaped his lips. The young eunuch, who had followed Yushi into the palace, looked around. He didn't dare to speak too loudly and lowered his head. Yushizi, His Majesty saw the people that the Empress chose. When Yushizi returns to the estate with this woman, what's to be done? Nothing, said Yushi, head lowered as he read the memorial. I just need to reject her. The young eunuch felt awkward. That. How can we do this? The emperor has already approved it. He said she would follow our carriage back to the estate. Yushi didn't even raise his head. Then throw her away. Throw her. Such words frightened the young eunuch to the extreme. How could us slaves dare? Yushi no longer paid him attention. The young eunuch suffered from unspeakable misery. Being caught in a bind, he retreated. Yushi was very clear on the fact that Emperor Chang'an wouldn't fall out with him just because of such a trivial matter. At most, he would just grow furious again. He wouldn't force Yushi to do anything. Besides, even if Emperor Chang'an was unhappy and used this matter to force him to do something else, it wasn't a big deal. As long as he didn't have to take a concubine, he was fine with doing anything else. Yushi was very confident about this. Until he left the cabinet in the evening and caught sight of an extra servant next to his carriage. In a flash, Yushi's complexion changed. This time, Emperor Chang'an would not make any concessions. Yushi's gaze proved ice cold. He looked at the lanterns hanging from his carriage from afar, beside himself in panic. He had kept persisting against this, so why wouldn't those people just let it go? Yushi stood in front of his carriage, his expression was so poor that it frightened others. Return her, said Yushi coldly. Wherever she came from, send her back there. Yushi pulled the reins on the carriage and lifted the curtain in one swift move. Inside, Zhonwan was wrapped in a quilt, leaning against the window dead asleep. Yushi was startled. Zhonwan. How could he be here? Where's the concubine? Did Zhonwan drive her away? And then he just waited for Yushi here? Yushi couldn't hold back his laughter. He climbed onto the carriage and looked down at the sleeping Zhonwan. All of a sudden, he understood why others were fond of taking concubines. If the concubine was like this, then they were acceptable. He looked at Zhonwan. His heart, which had been discouraged earlier, warmed in an instant. End chapter.